Life in Tokyo, $700 budget, beautiful women, and Japan's weirdest rules. Imagine living in one of the most expensive cities in the world, yet managing to thrive on a budget of just $700 a month. It sounds almost impossible, doesn't it? Tokyo, the city known for its skyscrapers, neon lights, and technological marvels, is often seen as one of the priciest cities on the planet. But here's the thing. While Tokyo might be expensive in some ways, it's also a place where you can make your money stretch further than you might think. I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. You can live comfortably here with a budget most people would assume would barely cover a night out. Now, I know what you're rethinking. How could anyone live in a city like Tokyo on such a tight budget? But that's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. We'll break down how you can live in Tokyo for under $700 a month and still have a decent lifestyle. I'm not talking about roughing it or giving up the things you love. I'm talking about living a real, enjoyable life in one of the world's most iconic cities, while keeping your spending in check. But there's more to this city than just budgeting. Tokyo is also home to some of the most stunningly beautiful women you'll find anywhere. There's a unique blend of elegance, fashion, and confidence that makes the women of Tokyo stand out. From their immaculate style to their graceful demeanor, the women here seem to have mastered the art of beauty in a way that is both effortless and captivating. I'll dive into why this city has become a global benchmark for beauty standards, and what makes the women here so extraordinary. And then, there's the part of Tokyo that might just leave you scratching your head. The rules? Oh, the rules. Tokyo isn't just about high-tech gadgets and bustling streets. It's also about a set of unique, sometimes downright bizarre rules that define the way people interact with each other and the world around them. From the no-tipping culture to the quiet, almost eerie silence on public transportation, Tokyo has its own set of unwritten rules that can baffle and amaze you in equal measure. If you thought Tokyo was all about futuristic tech and fast-paced city life, you're in for a surprise. So here's the big question. What if you could live the dream in Tokyo, a city that's famous for being expensive, on just a fraction of the average cost of living in places like New York or London? Can it really be done? Well, stick around, because we're going to reveal how it's possible, and why the rules, lifestyle, and unique beauty of Tokyo make it one of the most fascinating places to live, even on a budget. This video is going to change the way you think about life in Japan's capital city, so don't miss out. Let's jump in. The high cost of Tokyo is known for its towering skyscrapers, cutting-edge technology, and rich cultural history. It's a city that blends the old and the new, offering everything from ancient temples to futuristic buildings. But along with its fame, Tokyo is also notorious for being one of the most expensive places to live in the world. The cost of living here can feel overwhelming, especially when you first arrive and start looking at apartment prices, food, and even transportation. But despite being expensive, there are ways to make it work without breaking the bank. So, let us dive into what makes Tokyo such a high-cost city, and how you can still survive on a budget housing in Tokyo. When it comes to housing in Tokyo, the prices can be shocking. Renting an apartment in the city center can easily cost between $1,000 and $2,000 per month. These prices usually cover small apartments, and if you want something larger or more modern, the price will go even higher. But don't be discouraged, because there are plenty of ways to find more affordable housing if you're willing to look a little further out from the city center. For example, renting a place in less central areas or in neighborhoods outside the heart of Tokyo can drop your rent to around $300 or $400 per month. Areas like Suganami or Narima offer quieter residential neighborhoods with decent accommodations at much lower prices. It's all about finding the right balance between location and price. It's also common to find shared apartments or even small guest houses, where rent can be as low as $200, $300 a month. These types of accommodations are great for newcomers who want to save money while they get familiar with the city. However, these shared spaces usually come with a catch. You might have to share a bathroom, kitchen, or living space with others. But for a lot of people, it's a small price to pay for saving money in one of the world's most exciting cities. Food in Tokyo. When it comes to food, Tokyo offers both high-end restaurants and incredibly affordable options. You can easily find a satisfying meal for just $5. Street food. Bento boxes from convenience stores and ramen joints are some of the best ways to fill your stomach without spending too much. For example, a bowl of ramen at a local shop will typically cost you around $5, and it will fill you up for hours. Conveyor belt sushi restaurants are another cheap way to enjoy sushi without paying the high prices of a sit-down sushi bar. You can grab a plate of sushi for as little as $2 or $3 per plate, and the variety is amazing. Even in high-end restaurants, you'll find lunch specials that are surprisingly affordable. Many restaurants offer a lunch set or lunch deal, which might include rice, soup, a side, and a main dish for under $10. It's all about choosing the right places to eat and knowing where the good deals are. Tokyo might be known for its expensive dining experiences, but with a little research, you'll find great meals for an unbeatable price. Personal experience. Finding budget accommodation. When I first arrived in Tokyo, I was shocked by the apartment prices. I had heard all about Tokyo's high cost of living, but seeing the prices firsthand was a bit overwhelming. I initially looked in central areas like Shibuya and Shinjuku, where the prices were sky high, and I quickly realized I needed to rethink my options. After some searching, I found a shared apartment in an area called Asagaya, a quiet neighborhood in Suginami. My rent was only $350 a month, and it was a simple but comfortable place. I had my own room, and while I shared a kitchen and bathroom with 2 other people, it wasn't as bad as I had imagined. By living outside the main tourist areas, I was able to save a lot of money. The commute was a bit longer, but Tokyo's efficient train system made it easy to get around. The biggest adjustment was learning how to navigate the lesser-known parts of the city. But once I did, I found myself enjoying the local spots more than the crowded, overpriced areas in the center. From local markets to small coffee shops, I discovered a side of Tokyo that felt more authentic and affordable. Cost comparison. Tokyo versus other major cities. To put things into perspective, let's compare Tokyo's cost of living to other major cities like New York, London, and Los Angeles. Tokyo might seem expensive, but it's actually more affordable than places like New York or London, especially when it comes to housing. In New York, renting an apartment in a decent area can easily cost over $2,500 per month. Even in Los Angeles, rent prices are often higher than in Tokyo. While Tokyo does have a reputation for being expensive, it's important to remember that there are ways to make it affordable. If you know where to look and are willing to live outside the main tourist areas, you can make it work without sacrificing too much. Now imagine living in one of the world's most expensive cities, but doing so on a shoestring budget. How would you feel about living in a city like Tokyo with all its amazing culture, its food and opportunities, yet still managing to save money? Would you embrace the challenge, or would you struggle with the cost of living? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you be able to thrive on a tight budget in Tokyo, or is it too much of a challenge for you? Living on a $700 budget. Living on a $700 budget in Tokyo might sound impossible at first, but with the right approach, it's totally achievable. Many people do it every day, and while it may not come with luxury, it's enough to cover the basics: rent, food, and transportation. The key to making this work is knowing how to make smart choices and adjust to the Tokyo lifestyle, which is efficient and often surprisingly affordable. Cost breakdown. Rent when you're living on a tight budget. Rent is the first area you'll need to be strategic about. In Tokyo, renting a place in the city center can cost you well over $1,000 per month. But there are affordable options if you're willing to look outside the most popular areas. A small apartment or shared housing is your best bet. You can find decent budget-friendly accommodations in places like Sujinami, Nakano, or even further out in neighborhoods like Kikijoji, where rent can range from $300 to $500 for even more savings. Consider shared apartments or guest houses. These places usually cost around $200 to $350 per month. The only downside is sharing the kitchen, bathroom, and common spaces with others. But it's a great option for anyone trying to make their money last longer. Another choice that's very popular among budget-conscious travelers and newcomers to Tokyo are capsule hotels. While they aren't the most comfortable long-term living option, you can rent a capsule for as low as $25 per night if you're really looking to cut costs. This could be an interesting short-term solution while you get settled in Tokyo. Food is another area where you can save a lot of money. In Tokyo, you can eat well on a tight budget if you know where to look. Convenience stores are a lifeline for those on a $700 budget. You can find filling meals like bento boxes, sandwiches, and rice bowls for as little as $3 to $5. These meals are often freshly made and quite good in quality. So you won't have to sacrifice flavor just to save money. Street food is another great option. You can grab a filling meal for just a few dollars. For example, a bowl of ramen at a local ramen shop typically costs around $5. Sushi conveyor belts are also an affordable choice, where you can get sushi for $2 or $3 per plate. If you're in the mood for something lighter, you'll find snacks like onigiri and tempura for very low prices in convenience stores or food stalls. Eating out in restaurants every day is expensive, but Tokyo's food culture has so many affordable and tasty options that you can easily survive without spending too much. Tokyo's public transportation system is both efficient and affordable, making it easy to get around the city without spending much. A monthly train pass can cost anywhere from $80 to $150, depending on the area you live in and how far you need to travel. For those living on a budget, using the metro or train system is an affordable way to get around. The trains are punctual, clean, and very easy to navigate. You can also save money by choosing areas to live that are near public transportation. Many people who live on a budget in Tokyo prefer to stay in neighborhoods that are a little outside the main tourist areas, but still have easy access to the train lines. Living in places like Kikijoji or Asagaya gives you the perfect balance of affordability and convenience, as both neighborhoods have excellent train connections to central Tokyo. Real-life example. Let me share the story of Yuki, a friend I met who lived in Tokyo on a $700 budget for an entire month. Yuki's accommodation was a shared apartment in Nakano, a quieter neighborhood known for being affordable. Her rent was $350 a month, which left her with $350 for everything else, food and transportation included. To make this work, she had to be smart with her food choices. She relied mostly on convenience store meals, where she'd grab bento boxes or rice balls for lunch and dinner. For breakfast, she'd often have a quick coffee and sandwich from a local cafe, which cost her around $3 each day. When it came to transportation, Yuki lived close to the station, so she didn't have to spend much on train fares. Her monthly metro pass cost her about $100, which she felt was a good investment, since it allowed her to get to work in other parts of the city easily. The key to making this work, according to Yuki, was planning ahead. She had to be disciplined about not splurging on fancy meals or unnecessary expenses. But for her, the lifestyle was manageable. She found that Tokyo offered a lot of affordable options if you were willing to look for them. While her living situation wasn't luxurious, she still felt comfortable and enjoyed her time in the city. She didn't feel like she was missing out on much because Tokyo is a city where there's always something to do, even on a budget. For Yuki, the experience was eye-opening. Living on a tight budget made her appreciate the little things. A good bowl of ramen, a peaceful day at the park, or simply walking around the vibrant streets of Tokyo. It wasn't easy, but it was definitely doable. Living on $700 in Tokyo may seem impossible for some, but for others, it's a challenge they're willing to take on. Would you be able to live like this, or is the $700 budget too tight for your comfort? Could you adjust your lifestyle to survive on a budget in one of the most exciting cities in the world? Tokyo is not just about high-end shopping or expensive dining. It is also about living smart and making the most of what the city has to offer. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Would you give it a try? Tokyo's unspoken beauty The women in Tokyo is often said to have some of the most beautiful women in the world. It's not just their physical appearance that stands out, but their unique blend of elegance, grace, and style that has captured the admiration of people worldwide. Whether it's in their fashion choices or their poised demeanor, Tokyo women seem to effortlessly exude beauty and confidence. But there's more to it than just looks. Japanese beauty standards are deeply rooted in culture and tradition, and they influence how women present themselves both in public and in private. Beauty standards. The beauty standards in Japan focus heavily on grooming, simplicity, and an almost natural yet polished look. Japanese women often emphasize smooth, clear skin, and this is reflected in the popularity of skincare routines that include multiple steps, from cleansing to moisturizing. There's a huge emphasis on looking youthful, which explains the popularity of makeup brands that offer light foundations, subtle blush, and soft eye makeup. It's all about looking fresh, natural, and well put together without appearing overly done up. Hair is another important aspect of beauty in Japan. Many Tokyo women prefer to keep their hair healthy and styled in simple, elegant ways. While straight hair is popular, curls and waves are also common, though often styled in a way that looks effortless rather than dramatic. A lot of women choose softer, more neutral tones for their hair, although brighter colors and more daring styles are becoming more common among younger generations. But no matter the style, the focus is always on appearing well-groomed, whether it's sleek and straight or loosely styled. Fashion is an essential part of how women in Tokyo express their beauty. The fashion scene in Tokyo is known for its creativity, and women here love to experiment with new styles, combining both modern and traditional elements in their outfits. However, despite the bold fashion choices, there's an overall sense of balance and modesty. In fact, modesty is one of the key elements of Japanese fashion. The less is more philosophy is common here. In Tokyo, women often opt for clean lines, muted colors, and simple accessories, allowing their outfits to look polished without being flashy. Fashion and style. Tokyo women's fashion is diverse. You'll find different styles depending on the occasion, from office or to weekend outfits. When it comes to office attire, Tokyo women prefer to keep it professional, but still stylish. In the workplace, you'll see a lot of women wearing tailored blazers, skirts, and dresses that are elegant yet modest. The color palette tends to be neutral, with a lot of blacks, whites, and soft pastels. The aim is to look polished and put together without being too bold or flashy. On weekends, Tokyo women let loose a bit more with their fashion choices. The trend in Tokyo's fashion districts like Harajuku and Shibuya is all about individual expression. You'll find everything from streetwear to vintage clothing, as well as high-fashion looks mixed with casual outfits. A common sight is women wearing oversized coats, paired with slim-fitting pants or skirts, accessorized with scarves, hats, and stylish boots. Even casual wear in Tokyo is thoughtfully put together, showing a keen sense of fashion and personal style. One popular fashion trend among Tokyo women is the love for layering. Many women layer clothing, adding different textures and lengths to their outfits to create depth and interest. This not only adds a unique flair to their look, but also keeps them warm during the colder months, as Tokyo can get chilly in the winter. The key is to balance comfort and style, creating an outfit that is both practical and fashionable. Japanese women face a unique set of pressures when it comes to balancing beauty, work, and social life. In Tokyo, where the pace of life is fast and the expectations for success are high, women often juggle their professional careers with maintaining personal appearances. Despite the demanding work culture, many women manage to balance this by adhering to beauty routines that make them feel confident, while still remaining productive at work. This balance is often a reflection of the deeply ingrained cultural norms of modesty and respect. Women are expected to remain poised and graceful in all situations, whether they're in the office, on a date, or simply walking down the street. Interestingly, there's also a social aspect to beauty in Japan. Women are often expected to maintain a certain level of appearance, especially in professional or formal settings. However, there's also room for individuality. The fashion-forward districts in Tokyo, such as Harajuku, are a testament to how Tokyo women express their unique personalities through fashion. This balance between conformity and individuality is what makes Tokyo's beauty standards so unique. Women can be fashionable and stylish, while still adhering to social expectations of modesty and elegance. Sometimes walking down the streets of Tokyo can feel like you've accidentally stumbled into a fashion show. Everywhere you turn, you LLC women dressed in outfits that look like they've just stepped out of a magazine or runway. From chic office attire to trendy weekend outfits, it's as if everyone is a fashion model. But rather than feeling out of place, there's something inspiring about seeing so many people embrace their unique styles with such confidence. In a way, Tokyo's fashion scene feels like it's constantly evolving, each person adding their personal touch to the ever-changing style landscape. The dedication to looking polished and stylish is impressive, and it can make you feel like you should step up your own fashion game. But it's all part of the charm of Tokyo. The women here have mastered the art of looking effortlessly chic, and whether they're in the office or out for a casual day, their style always reflects a sense of grace and sophistication. It's a culture that celebrates beauty, not just in appearance, but in the way you present yourself to the world. Have you ever noticed how fashion-forward Tokyo women are? From their office attire to weekend outfits, their sense of style is unmistakable. What's your take on Japanese beauty standards? Do you think you could embrace the modest yet stylish approach to fashion in Tokyo? Or would you struggle to keep up? Let me know in the comments below. The rules that will baffle you. Tokyo is a city that is known for its beauty, technology, and culture. But it also comes with a set of rules that can leave you scratching your head. Some of these rules might seem strange or confusing to outsiders, but they are an essential part of the city's everyday life. From the way people interact with each other to how they move around, Tokyo has a set of unwritten rules that everyone follows. Some are easy to adapt to, while others might just make you laugh. Let's take a look at a few of the rules that will leave you surprised, maybe even shocked. Rule 1. No tipping. In many countries around the world, tipping is a common practice. It's a way to show appreciation for good service. But in Tokyo and Japan in general, tipping is not only unnecessary, but considered rude. I'll never forget the first time I tried to tip a waiter at a small restaurant. I had just finished a delicious meal, and I thought it was polite to leave a tip. As soon as I placed the money on the table, the waiter quickly came over, gave me an awkward look, and insisted that I take it back. It was incredibly awkward, and I didn't understand what had just happened. In Japan, tipping is not part of the culture. The general idea is that providing good service is part of the job, and customers should not feel obligated to pay extra. This is because Japanese culture places a high value on respect and hospitality. In fact, tipping can be seen as insulting because it implies that the person needs extra money to do their job well. Instead, the Japanese focus on making sure the service they provide is excellent. It's considered part of their professional duty. So, if you're ever in Tokyo, don't try to leave a tip. LL only confuse or embarrass both you and the person you're trying to tip. Rule 2. No phone calls in public. Another rule that can take some getting used to in Tokyo is the unspoken rule about phone calls in public. In many places around the world, people answer their phones anywhere and everywhere. But in Tokyo, making a phone call in public, especially in places like trains or buses, is considered rude. I learned this lesson the hard way when I took a train from Shibuya to Asakusa. My phone rang, and without thinking, I answered it, only to have people around me give me irritated looks. I quickly realized I had broken one of the most important social rules in Tokyo. The reason for this is simple. Japanese culture values public spaces and the peace and quiet of those spaces. People are expected to be considerate of others around them, especially in crowded places like public transportation. Talking loudly on the phone is seen as disruptive and disrespectful to others who are trying to enjoy a peaceful ride. If you need to take a call, it's better to step outside or go to a designated phone area. This rule may feel strange at first, especially if you're used to answering your phone on the go. But it's all about maintaining harmony and respect in public spaces. Rule 3. Perfect queuing. If there's one thing that will absolutely amaze you when you visit Tokyo, it's the way people queue up. I'll never forget my first experience at a Tokyo train station. I was waiting to get on a crowded subway train, and to my surprise, everyone was standing in perfect, orderly lines. There were no pushing, no shoving, just people patiently waiting for their turn to get on the train. It was so different from what I was used to back home, where people often rush to get on the train without any regard for others. The concept of queuing in Japan is taken very seriously. It's a sign of respect for others, and it shows a high level of orderliness and discipline in Japanese society. Whether it's at a train station, an elevator, or even at a supermarket, you'll find that people in Tokyo stand in neat, orderly lines. Everyone waits their turn, and it's rare to see anyone cutting in line. The Japanese see this as a way to ensure that things run smoothly and everyone gets their fair turn. While it may seem a bit extreme to some, it's one of the things that make Tokyo run like a well-oiled machine. Rule 4. Silence in public transport. Tokyo's public transportation system is one of the best in the world. But there's one rule that stands out above all others. Silence is expected. When I first got on a Tokyo train, I was shocked by how quiet it was. In most cities, you'll hear people talking, laughing, or listening to music. But on the trains in Tokyo, there's a sense of calm. People don't speak loudly or make noise on the train. It was almost as if everyone was trying to be as silent as possible. Didn't take long for me to understand why this rule is so important. In Japan, public transportation is a place for quiet reflection or rest. People use their train rides to read, relax, or just unwind. Loud conversations or music can disturb others, which is why Tokyoites are very careful about keeping noise to a minimum. This rule is also linked to Japan's broader cultural values of respect and consideration for others. People don't want to disturb the peace, so they keep their conversations quiet or, in many cases, to themselves. It might take a little getting used to, especially if you're used to chatting away or playing music on public transport. But it's a rule that makes Tokyo's trains much more peaceful and pleasant to ride. So, here's a question for you. Would you be able to live by these rules, or would they drive you crazy? Could you manage to keep your phone silent in public spaces, wait in perfect lines, or follow the strict no-tipping culture? Tokyo's rules might seem strange at first, but they are a reflection of the city's commitment to harmony, respect, and order. Let me know what you think. Would you be able to adapt, or would these rules be too much for you to handle? Tokyo's unusual customs. Cultural exploration. Tokyo is not just a city of skyscrapers and fast-paced living. It's also home to a range of unique and often surprising customs that shape daily life. And these customs, which might seem unusual or even strange to foreigners, are deeply rooted in Japanese culture and provide insight into the values of respect, peace, and harmony that guide much of life in Tokyo. Some of these traditions might make you stop and think, while others might leave you with a smile as you try to follow along. Let's explore a few of Tokyo's customs that might surprise you. Shinrin-yoku. One of the most fascinating and calming customs in Japan is Shinrin-yoku, also known as forest bathing. Unlike a typical hike or outdoor exercise, forest bathing is all about immersing yourself in nature in a calm and mindful way. The idea is simple. Instead of rushing through nature or using it for physical exercise, you slow down and absorb the sights, sounds, and smells of the forest around you. The goal is to relax, reduce stress, and reconnect with nature. This custom might sound a bit strange at first, especially if you're used to the hustle and bustle of urban life. But Shinrin-yoku is a practice that has been proven to have significant mental and physical health benefits. Studies have shown that spending time in nature can lower stress levels, improve mood, and even boost your immune system. In Tokyo, there are several parks and forested areas where people go for Shinrin-yoku, taking time out from their busy lives to relax and unwind in the natural environment. I had the chance to try forest bathing. When I visited one of Tokyo's nearby parks, the experience was incredibly peaceful. Instead of hurrying through the park, I took a slow walk, paying attention to the trees, the breeze, and the sounds of birds. It was a refreshing break from the usual rush of life in Tokyo, and I found myself feeling much calmer and more centered by the end of it. If you've never tried Shinrin-yoku, it's definitely a unique experience that will help you appreciate the healing power of nature. The bowing culture, another custom in Tokyo that might seem strange to foreigners, is the practice of bowing. In Japan, bowing is not just a way of greeting someone. It's a gesture of respect that holds significant meaning in various contexts. Whether you're saying hello, expressing gratitude, or even apologizing, bowing is a crucial part of the interaction. The depth of the bow can vary, depending on the situation, from a simple nod of the head to a deep bow that shows great respect. When I first arrived in Tokyo, I found the bowing culture a bit overwhelming. In my home country, A handshake or a smile is usually enough, but in Japan, there's a whole range of bowing that I had to learn. The first time I tried to bow, let's just say it didn't go as smoothly as I had hoped. I ended up bending way too much and was met with a confused smile. I quickly realized that bowing requires practice, as the depth and timing of the bow depend on the level of respect you want to show. Over time, I began to appreciate the beauty of bowing. It's a simple yet powerful way to acknowledge someone, showing them that you respect and value them. In many situations, bowing helps maintain harmony and smooth interactions, as it's a gesture that puts others at ease and establishes mutual respect. Even though I never became an expert at bowing, I certainly began to understand its significance in Japanese culture. Tokyo's customs, while sometimes surprising or confusing at first, have an underlying theme of respect and peace. They encourage people to slow down, be mindful, and show consideration for others. Living in such a culture can be an eye-opening experience for anyone used to the rush of modern, fast-paced life. The customs I encountered in Tokyo has helped me appreciate the small things and the value of slowing down to observe the world around me. For example, forest bathing isn't just about being in nature. It's about taking time to appreciate the environment and allowing yourself to rest mentally and physically. The bowing culture isn't just a polite greeting. It's a way to show respect and acknowledge the people you interact with. These customs help create a peaceful atmosphere where people respect each other's space and time. In a city as bustling and busy as Tokyo, these customs serve as a reminder to take a breath, pause for a moment, and appreciate the present. Being in Tokyo, I learned that these customs are not just traditions. They are ways of life that promote mental well-being and social harmony. While it may take some time to adapt to these customs, they teach valuable lessons about mindfulness, respect, and the importance of slowing down to appreciate the world around you, in a world that's always moving at a fast pace. Tokyo's customs provide a refreshing change of pace, and they help you find peace in the most unlikely of places. Let's talk about the first time I tried to bow. As I mentioned earlier, it didn't go as smoothly as I had hoped. I was so eager to follow the tradition properly that I overcompensated and ended up bowing much too deeply. I could see the confusion in the person's face as I awkwardly straightened up, unsure if I had done it right. They smiled politely, and I could tell they were trying not to laugh. It was a classic foreigner moment, and a reminder that even though you may try your best, sometimes cultural customs don't come naturally. But looking back, I laugh at how serious I took the whole thing. It was a funny, lighthearted moment, but it was also a great learning experience. Now, I want to hear from you. Which Japanese custom would you like to try out? Do you think you could embrace the peaceful and mindful practice of Shinran-yoku? Or do you think you'd struggle with the bowing culture? If you've already been to Tokyo, which custom surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Tokyo's quirky and fun side. While Tokyo might be known for its sleek skyscrapers, tech gadgets, and serious work culture, it's also a city packed with quirky and fun experiences that will have you laughing out loud. Tokyo has a unique charm, blending the traditional with the futuristic, and it's a place where you can find surprises around every corner. The city's fun side is filled with eccentric cafes, exciting subcultures, and activities that you would never expect to encounter anywhere else. Whether it's indulging in some themed dining or getting caught up in the world of cosplay, Tokyo has a way of making every experience memorable in the most unexpected ways. Themed cafes. One of the most popular quirky experiences in Tokyo is visiting themed cafes. In this city, it's not uncommon to stumble upon cafes with strange and out-of-ordinary themes. The concept of themed cafes might sound odd at first, but they are a fun and unique part of Tokyo's vibrant culture. For example, I decided to visit a maid, which is one of the more famous types of themed cafes in the city. The concept is that the waitresses, dressed as maids, treat customers like masters or mistresses, and serve food and drinks in an over-the-top, playful manner. The staff greets you by saying, "Welcome home, master," and they add fun little touches to everything like drawing cute faces on your coffee with syrup and offering cute performances that feel like something straight out of a cartoon. At first, I was a bit unsure of what to expect, but I quickly got swept up in the charm of it all. The experience felt like stepping into a strange, yet fun world. It was definitely one of the more unusual experiences I've had in Tokyo. And while it might not be for everyone, I couldn't help but laugh at how different and entertaining it was. It wasn't tea just about having a meal or drink, it was about fully embracing the fun and silliness of the whole experience. You'd be surprised at how something so simple as a cup of tea can become a quirky adventure. Another popular themed cafe is the robot restaurant in Shinjuku. This one takes things to a whole new level with futuristic robots, neon lights, and a dramatic show that feels more like a theatrical performance than a meal. Imagine robots dancing, neon lasers flashing, and loud music pumping as you sit down to eat. It's a truly bizarre experience that's entertaining in the most outrageous way. If you ever find yourself in Tokyo looking for something fun and eccentric, themed cafe like this will definitely add a touch of strange excitement to your day. Would you ever spend an hour at a cafe with a theme as bizarre as this? Would you embrace the silliness and fun, or would you find it too strange? Let me know in the comments below. Cosplay and pop culture Tokyo is also known for its deep connection to cosplay and pop culture, and it's not hard to see why. The city is the epicenter of all things anime, manga, and video games. Cosplay, where people dress up as characters from their favorite shows, movies, or games, is a huge part of life here. You'll see it everywhere, especially in districts like Akihabara, which is known as the heart of Tokyo's otaku culture. I had the chance to visit Akihabara and was blown away by how immersed the area is in all things pop culture. It's filled with stores dedicated to anime, manga, video games, and collectibles. But what really stood out to me was the number of people walking around dressed as their favorite characters. Some were wearing costumes that looked like they belonged in a high-budget movie, while others were more casual, showing their love for anime in creative ways. It was clear that cosplay was not just a hobby in Tokyo. It was a way of life. One of the best moments was when I saw a group of cosplayers standing outside a cafe, posing for photos with anyone who asked. They were so passionate about their costumes, and their enthusiasm was infectious. I remember talking to one cosplayer who was dressed as a character from a popular anime series. She was happy to chat about her favorite shows and what inspired her to get into cosplay. It was fascinating to see how seriously Tokyo takes this subculture and how much pride people take in their costumes and characters. It's not just about dressing up it's about embodying a part of the pop culture they love. Tokyo's obsession with cosplay doesn't just stay in Akihabara. It spreads across the city with conventions, cosplay events, and even themed festivals that celebrate all things anime and manga. The impact of Japanese pop culture on the global stage is undeniable. In many ways, Tokyo has become the epicenter of this worldwide phenomenon where the lines between fantasy and reality blur. So, what do you think? Would you embrace Tokyo's quirky side by spending some time at a themed cafe, or immersing yourself in the world of cosplay? Or do you think it's all a little too out there? Tokyo offers so many unique and fun experiences that you won't find anywhere else. And while some might seem strange at first, they're all part of what makes this city so exciting. Whether you're retrying a maid for the first time, or diving into the world of cosplay, Tokyo has something for everyone who's ready to step out of the ordinary. The dark side of Tokyo. Hidden Struggles Tokyo is an exciting, vibrant, and fast-paced city that offers countless opportunities. From its towering skyscrapers to its bustling streets, it seems like a place where dreams come true. But behind the bright lights and energetic atmosphere, there's another side to Tokyo, one that many people don't often talk about. Beneath the surface of this incredible metropolis, there are hidden struggles that people face every day. Tokyo may be beautiful, but it also comes with its own set of challenges, especially when it comes to loneliness, the pressure to conform, and the constant pursuit of perfection. The loneliness. One of the most surprising things about Tokyo is the loneliness that can hit even the most extroverted person. Despite being surrounded by millions of people, there's a sense of isolation that can be hard to escape. I remember when I first moved to Tokyo, I was excited about the idea of living in such a big city. There were so many people around, so many places to explore, and so much to do. Yet I couldn't shake the feeling of being alone. It was strange because everywhere I went, I was surrounded by people-un, the train, in shops, at restaurants. But despite the crowd, there was this overwhelming sense of disconnection. People in Tokyo tend to keep to themselves, especially in public places. There's a strong cultural value placed on privacy and personal space, which is great in many ways, but it can also create a feeling of emotional distance. This feeling of loneliness, ISNT, just something that happens when you renew to the city. It's a challenge that many long-term residents face, too. The fast-paced, competitive nature of life in Tokyo doesn't leave much room for deep personal connections. The pressure to work long hours, keep up with the constant pace, and meet high standards of success can make it hard to form close relationships. It's a place where people often feel more like workers or consumers than individuals with personal connections. Cultural insight. The pressure to conform Tokyo's work culture is one of the most intense in the world. There's a strong expectation to conform, not just in terms of behavior, but in how you present yourself. This pressure can be overwhelming, especially for those who are trying to adjust to the city's high expectations. The pace of life here is incredibly fast, and there's little room for error. Whether it's in the workplace, in social situations, or even in how you dress, there's a constant pressure to be perfect. The societal expectation to fit in can also contribute to feelings of loneliness. People in Tokyo often avoid standing out too much. In fact, there's a phrase in Japan called the nail that sticks out, gets hammered down, meaning that those who try to be too different are often shunned. This can create a sense of pressure, especially for foreigners who may feel like they need to adapt to a culture that values conformity over individuality. The cost of perfection, another challenge in Tokyo, is the culture's demand for perfection. In Tokyo, whether it's your appearance, your work, or your social life, everything has to be flawless. I quickly realized that Tokyo's expectations were not just about being successful, they were about being perfect in every way. I saw this in the workplace, where employees are often expected to work long hours with little complaint. The concept of karoshi, or death from overwork, is a very real issue here. It's not uncommon for people to stay at the office late into the night, sometimes at the cost of their health and well-being. The same pressure for perfection extends to personal appearance. Many people in Tokyo spend a lot of time and money on maintaining their looks. From stylish clothing to flawless makeup, the focus on physical appearance is part of the culture's pursuit of perfection. While it can be inspiring to see how put together everyone looks, it can also feel exhausting to keep up with such high standards. I felt this pressure in my own life, constantly worrying about fitting in and meeting expectations. It's easy to feel like you're not doing enough, or that you're not measuring up to the standards set by others. Solution: embracing imperfection over time. I realized that the key to surviving in Tokyo and truly enjoying life here was to embrace imperfection. Perfection is impossible to maintain all the time, and trying to do so only leads to burnout and stress. Instead of trying to meet everyone else's standards, I started focusing on what made me feel good and what allowed me to live in a way that felt authentic to me. One way to do this is by prioritizing balance. In a city that pushes you to be always on the go, it's important to take moments to rest and reflect. Whether it's through activities like Shinrin-yoku, join a quiet moment in a park, or simply spending time with friends, it's essential to give yourself permission to relax and be imperfect. Life in Tokyo doesn't have to be about meeting every expectation. It can be about creating your own path and finding peace amidst the chaos. So, do you think living in a city like Tokyo would be worth the sacrifice of personal freedom? The city offers so much, but it can come at the cost of your own individuality and peace of mind. Would you be able to handle the pressure to conform, or would you prefer a place where you can embrace your imperfections more freely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. How do you think you would handle Tokyo's intense culture and fast-paced lifestyle? The best places to visit on a budget Tokyo is often seen as one of the most expensive cities in the world. But surprisingly, it also offers a lot of attractions that won't break your budget. Whether you're a traveler on a tight budget or just looking to enjoy Tokyo without spending too much, there are plenty of affordable places to explore. From beautiful parks to historic temples and bustling local markets, Tokyo has a wide range of attractions that are either free or very cheap to visit. Let's take a look at some of the best budget-friendly spots in the city. Free or cheap attractions. Ueno Park and Yoyogi Park. One of the best ways to experience Tokyo without spending a lot of money is by visiting its parks. Tokyo has some beautiful green spaces that are perfect for relaxing, walking, or having a picnic. Ueno Park is one of the most famous parks in the city. It's located near Ueno Station. It's home to museums, a zoo, and some of the best cherry blossoms in the spring. The park is large, with plenty of open space where you can stroll, enjoy the flowers, or just sit and watch the world go by. Best of all, visiting Ueno Park is free, and you can enjoy the beauty of nature without spending a yen. Another great park to visit is Yoyogi Park, located near Harajuku. This park is especially popular with locals who come here to jog, have picnics, or simply enjoy the outdoors. On weekends, you might even see people practicing yoga, playing music, or participating in various outdoor activities. Yoyogi Park is also home to beautiful seasonal flowers, including cherry blossoms in the spring and colorful leaves in the fall. Like Ueno Park, it's free to visit, making it an excellent option for a budget-friendly day out. Temples and shrines. Sensoji Temple and Meiji Shrine Tokyo is also home to several beautiful temples and shrines, many of which are free to enter. Sensoji Temple in Asakusa is one of the most famous temples in Tokyo. It's a historic site that dates back to the 7th century, and it attracts millions of visitors each year. The temple is located at the end of Nakami Street, where you can enjoy shopping for traditional snacks and souvenirs. While the shopping street might cost you a little money if you decide to buy something, the temple itself is free to visit. It's a peaceful and spiritual place to explore, and you can take in the beauty of the temple's architecture and surroundings without spending anything. Another popular temple is the Meiji Shrine, located near Harajuku. This shrine is dedicated to Emperor Meiji and Empress Shokin, and is set in a large forested area in the heart of the city. The Meiji Shrine is free to visit, and walking through the peaceful forest pathway to the shrine offers a calming experience amidst the busy city life. The shrine is especially beautiful in the fall when the trees change color, and it's a great spot to enjoy nature while learning about Japan's history and culture. Local markets, Tsukiji Fish Market and Street Food Tokyo is known for its food, and one of the best places to explore local cuisine on a budget is at the City S markets. While the famous Tsukiji Fish Market has moved to Toyosu, the outer market remains in its original location near Tsukiji Station. Here, you can find a wide variety of fresh seafood, as well as street food stalls, offering tasty, affordable snacks like sushi, grilled fish, and rice bowls. Even if you're not a fan of seafood, there are plenty of other delicious treats to try, such as tamagoyaki and taiyaki. Street food is another great way to sample Tokyo's culinary offerings without spending much. Areas like Asakusa and Shibuya are home to food stalls where you can get delicious and cheap eats. Whether it's takoyaki, okonomiyaki, or yakiimo, there's something for every taste. Street food allows you to enjoy a traditional Tokyo experience without paying the high prices found in restaurants. If you had $100 to spend in Tokyo, where would you go first? Would you explore the parks, visit a temple, or dive into the street food scene? Tokyo offers so many incredible experiences that don't require a large budget. Whether you're looking for nature, history, or delicious food, there are countless ways to enjoy the city without spending a fortune. Let me know in the comments which budget-friendly spots in Tokyo you'd love to visit. Living in Tokyo on $700 a month ISNT, just possibly it has a unique challenge that offers an experience unlike any other. Tokyo is a city that might seem intimidating at first, especially when you consider its reputation for being expensive. However, with a bit of planning, creativity, and a willingness to adapt, you can make it work. The excitement and energy of Tokyo are undeniable, but the real magic comes from navigating the city's quirks and finding your own place within it. Whether it's embracing its strange but charming rules, getting to know its beautiful culture, or learning to live on a budget, Tokyo is a place that forces you to think outside the box and find joy in the small things. Throughout this journey, we've explored some of the key aspects of life in Tokyo on a budget. The first challenge, of course, is the cost of living. Rent, food, and transportation are typically expensive in Tokyo. But by making smart choices, like opting for shared apartments, eating affordable convenience store meals, and using public transport, it's possible to live here on a tight budget. While $700 a month may sound like a stretch, it's actually achievable for someone who is willing to adjust their expectations and lifestyle. In addition to the financial aspect, we've discussed the beauty of Tokyo, not just in its stunning landscapes and landmarks, but also in its people. The women of Tokyo are known for their grace, elegance, and sense of style, which play an important role in shaping the city's aesthetic and cultural identity. Tokyo is a place where beauty and fashion are celebrated, and it's clear that this culture of beauty runs deep, influencing everything from how people present themselves to how they interact with the world. Then, we delved into Tokyo's odd but fascinating rules. From the no-tipping culture to the strict silence on public transport, Tokyo has a set of unspoken guidelines that help maintain harmony and respect in a crowded, busy city. These rules can seem strange or even annoying at first, but once you understand them, they reveal an underlying respect for others and a deep cultural commitment to maintaining peace and order. Lastly, we took a look at the unique aspects of Tokyo that make it so much fun. Themed cafes, cosplay culture, and local markets all contribute to the quirky charm that makes Tokyo such a special place. While it may seem serious and high-paced on the surface, Tokyo has a lighter side that's full of fun, excitement, and surprise. So, after hearing about life in Tokyo on a budget, would you dare to take on the challenge of living here yourself? Would you be able to navigate the city's expensive cost of living, embrace its odd rules, and dive into its quirky and fun experiences? It's not for everyone, but for those who are up for it. Living in Tokyo offers a one-of-a-kind adventure that can change your perspective on life. Tokyo is a city that teaches you to adapt, appreciate the small things, and sometimes laugh at the oddest of rules. It's a place where you can thrive on a budget, enjoy beautiful sights, experience a culture that's unlike anywhere else. The quirks and challenges of living in Tokyo are what make it such a fascinating place to live. It's not about living up to a perfect image, but finding joy in the little moments and embracing the weirdness that makes Tokyo so unique. So, think you could live in Tokyo with all its rules and quirks? Could you navigate the challenges and enjoy the experience? Let me know in the comments below. If you loved this look into Tokyo, hit that like button and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions and experiences. Can't wait to see what you think and what parts of Tokyo intrigue you the most. Next, we'll be heading to another incredible Japanese city, Kyoto. While Tokyo is bustling, it's fast-paced, and constantly evolving, Kyoto offers something completely different. It's often considered Tokyo's quieter, more spiritual twin, and for good reason. Kyoto is known for its serene temples, traditional tea houses, and beautiful gardens that transport you to another time. It's a place where the ancient traditions of Japan are still alive. Every corner of the city has a peaceful, calming atmosphere. In Kyoto, you'll find yourself surrounded by history, culture, and tranquility. From the iconic Kinkakuji to the endless rows of torii gates at Fushimi Inari Shrine, Kyoto offers experiences that feel almost magical. It's a city where you can slow down, reflect, and connect with the spiritual side of Japan. So stay tuned as we uncover the hidden gems of Kyoto, its rich culture, and why this peaceful city has become a must-visit destination for anyone wanting to experience a different side of Japan. Trust me, it's a whole different vibe, and I can't wait to share it with you.